here. Oh, kind of heavy. We're Diana and Stefan. When we got married almost 19 years ago, we created a blended family with 3 kids. They've all grown up and flown the coop, leaving us empty bedrooms and a new life to learn called empty nesting. We have 3 awesome grandchildren, and we've had the chance to travel the world a little bit. But 2020 has changed some plans we had. What will life bring us now? Come along for the ride and find out what our next adventure is going to be. So, not gonna lie, there is one question every single day that I cannot stand that comes from my husband's mouth. He says, "What's for dinner?" I can't tell you how much that gives me anxiety every day because you know what? He's a grown man, he can feed himself, but for whatever reason, the burden seems to go to me because apparently I cook better. And so it's my job to plan the meals and to do the grocery shopping and to make dinner every night.
Most nights.
Most
I
nights.
make dinner sometimes.
You make breakfast for dinner sometimes. Let's be honest.
Well, there's a couple of videos that, if they're not posted yet, we'll post shortly about me making dinner, so that's not impossible. But
if it involves the grill, it involves you.
You'll see.
Anyway, a friend of ours told us about HelloFresh. And it's a meal delivery service. We had never used one before, and I thought, how good can that be? And how big are the portions? And, you know, is it gonna be plain Jane?
And we're thinking Swanson dinners.
Yeah, like old TV dinners. If you're our age, you remember the silver ones, that they came in the little separate things and they had the foil over them and you watched literally TV on a TV tray. This is everything but that. And I thought it'd be really helpful to show what is involved with this because I was really impressed. And we get this each week on a Monday. You can pick your day as to when you want to schedule it, and you can pick how many meals you want to get. And we chose 3 because sometimes we do have a meeting in the evening later and we might kind of skip dinner, just do a quick drive through somewhere, or we might go to my mom's for dinner one night, or we just don't feel like making dinner at all. We had a late lunch. So we thought we'd just start out with 3, and that seems to work really well for us. But when you open up the box, it is really well insulated, and we weren't sure what time of day it would be arriving, and since we live in Florida, we were concerned with the heat and things like that. We do live kind of out a little bit from town, kind of in the country a bit, worried about wild animals dragging our food box off. But it's really well insulated. I was really impressed, and what comes on the top is a card that shows you what your meal is supposed to look like and what's included, and depending on if you're doing for 2 people or 4 people in this instance, it shows you how many of each thing you should have inside for this meal. And everything's in the box. And then it also gives you some little tips on things, and then on the back it shows you step-by-step instructions on how to make this meal happen. And it also tells you what you need to get out so you're not running around the kitchen at the last minute, so you can figure out everything ahead of time. So if you're not an experienced chef, I think this is a really great way to start learning and understanding and getting things timed right and all of that. So all 3 of our meals come on a different large size card like this. And this one is Thai coconut curry chicken with cilantro lime rice. I would never make that normally, but it sounds really good. And we've had some curry chicken stuff in the past, so that's been great. Jammy red pepper chicken with lemony green beans and cilantro rice. And this one is one of Stefan's favorites. It's the firecracker meatballs with roasted green beans and jasmine rice. So these happen to all have rice, but sometimes there's potato, there's different side dishes. These do have green beans on them. We like green beans, and sometimes there's carrots. So it is a variety. And there's a lot of choices that you can pick from each week. And you can pick chicken, you can pick pork, you can pick meat, you know, like the firecracker meatballs. You can get all veggie if you want. So you can kind of customize it to the way you want to eat or what you feel like having that week. So it doesn't have to be the same. They do pre-select 3 things for you in case you forget to actually make your choices, but you don't have to get the things that they suggest for you. You can get 3 totally different things in our case. So when you open up the bag, box, it's really insulated. And it has each bag for each meal. And it makes it really easy. You know, part of the whole grocery shopping thing is I hate coming home and put everything away, kind of a pain. So each bag is 1 meal. And it tells you right on here, it's the firecracker meatballs. And then you've got the Thai coconut curry chicken. Everything's in the bag that you need for that meal, minus the meat product. And what they do is you get a little piece of cardboard underneath your bags that reminds you that the ingredients that you need beyond what's in the bags is hiding underneath the ice. And they have really good, what are these called? I don't know.
Ice packs.
Ice packs.
Cold packs.
Cold packs. And they do the job, because this chicken is super cold, almost to the point it's a little, you know, it's a little hard. So really been great. Chicken, and then that's the meat, okay? And you can recycle these products. They give you information in the box about that. So I was kind of concerned about that in the beginning, about, you know, all this waste, but this is cardboard. You can recycle that too. It's really not an issue. And these are really good boxes. You know, if you have the room for storage, they're great to help, you know, for moving or anything like that, or storing whatever it is you need to store. So that's the HelloFresh box. And we've just really enjoyed it. I think it's a great idea, and it just makes my life a whole lot easier. I don't have to think about it. It just happens. The couple things that I do need to have on hand are things like an olive oil or a vegetable oil, salt, pepper, and that's pretty much it.
So why don't you open the one we're having tonight?
Well, what do you want to have for dinner tonight?
Well, we said we're having the firecracker meatball.
Oh, we did? I just said that was your favorite.
Okay, well, you're teasing me with that.
I was teasing you. So you just open it up and have the green beans, scallions, the rice, the sour cream that we'll need, and this is the basically soy sauce in here. And we are going to need ginger. So I got a little finger of ginger there. And everything's portioned out. When it tells me, you know, use this, I don't have to measure it out. I just know to use this bag. And everything's written right on here. This is some panko breadcrumbs and some mayonnaise, honey, and sriracha sauce. And you can kind of, I've noticed on the things like that are spicy, they tell you ahead of time that the meal could be spicy. So you know not to get that if that's not something that is interesting to you. But then when you get the spicy, you can decide how much to put on. And they tell you that in the recipe. And I just think it's really great. I know it's kind of a little bit of a luxury to not have all the different things that you have to go into your refrigerator for and stuff. But this is the way I looked at it, especially for Stefan and myself being just the 2 of us at this point. Is that if I planned out a week's worth of meals, there was always sour cream involved. Well, you can only buy a sour cream so small. And then maybe you don't use that the rest of the week. And now you've got waste and you're throwing things away. And I'm embarrassed to say, I'm not the best at figuring it out. Stefan's sister, man, she can buy right to the end. And she knows exactly how to make everything mash together at the end. But for me, I'm not that talented. And we were throwing away food from time to time, and I hated that idea. So I felt like this was a better way for us to go. We weren't wasting that food, and we know exactly what we're having to eat. And honestly, it makes us come back and eat at home. We were eating out way too much for a little while, and that was not good. That's gonna be, you know, a lot more money. So I've been really happy with it, and we'll show you what the recipes look like as I make them throughout the week. At the beginning of the video, we showed you HelloFresh, which we thoroughly enjoyed, made everything so easy, absolutely loved it. We kind of got hooked on food delivery. We thought this is the way to go. And we shared the idea with my brother and his family because, you know, they have that same question, what's for dinner? And with HelloFresh, I was able to send him a free box with the app for him to try, and he really liked it too. But my brother being my brother, he loves to do research. For this, he came back and he said, you know what? I researched things, and EveryPlate is part of HelloFresh. They're the same parent company, and HelloFresh does give you more options each week. I mean, there's still like the chicken and the pork and steak, and you can do upgrades and pasta or whatever it is that you are interested in. They just give you a lot more. With EveryPlate, the per serving cost is substantially lower, and it's his opinion that he didn't really see any difference in the quality of the food, the quantity of food, the types of recipes. There just weren't as many to choose from. We figured we would give it a shot and see how it was. You've already seen the HelloFresh and how that was packaged. Let's see how this one's going to be. And if you remember, the HelloFresh, you know, it was a slightly bigger box, and it still came packaged like this. Everything's the same so far, really, other than just size. Okay, so that's different. This is something my brother had mentioned to me, that it doesn't all come sorted out, and it's all just kind of dumped in there, which, you know, is fine. If I went to the grocery store, I'd have the same situation. So we'll take that out. And then underneath here, just like in HelloFresh, you want to check. And you want to see what it is underneath the ice packs. And I'm going to tell you, we got this package because you can deliver your, track your package delivery. And we got this package delivered by UPS. It was delivered around 10:09 a.m. I think today. And right now it is 6:05 and it is cold, cold, cold. Put that off to the side. Now what I did, because my brother had mentioned that this would come all together, kind of lumped together, as you saw in the HelloFresh, they put things in separate bags. So I kept my bags from the last HelloFresh time that we did this, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to separate everything out because I really like just being able to come home and go in the refrigerator, grab the bag, grab my meat, and it's done. So my brother and I are super competitive. I mean, which siblings aren't? And he told me it took him about 15 minutes to separate this out into the 3 different dinners. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my stopwatch, and I'm gonna see how long it takes me to separate them out. Now, one of the other things, actually, maybe I didn't get everything out of the box. Where are my recipes? Oh, they're way down here on the side. Started to panic. All right. So these are the recipe cards. They're definitely smaller than HelloFresh. HelloFresh is a full 8.5 by 11 size, but still it's in color and has all the pictures, has the directions. It's pretty awesome. All right, so let's see. Being that each meal here, it shows you exactly what I'm supposed to have for that meal. So everything should be in this box besides the meat. And there are some things that I need to add from my own household type stuff. So here it shows you there's kosher salt and pepper, olive oil, butter, vegetable oil, and brown sugar is something else. All right, so these are the recipe cards, and they tell you everything that you need to know.
So I'm going to show you what one looks like so you can get an idea. There you go.
And it's pretty much, most nights, it's kosher, salt, black pepper, vegetable oil, or olive oil, or butter, or all 3 of those things. But on this particular recipe, it has the brown sugar is something else that I need, which is not a big deal. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and separate these into the 3 different categories and see how long it takes me to do that, because I didn't have to do that with HelloFresh. All right, start. So that's a stop, 1 minute and 39 seconds. Well worth my savings. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put these in here. And I'm gonna keep the meat separate, put that in a different place in the refrigerator. And what I plan to do is I'm just gonna mark this bag as number 1, and that will go with the recipe that's number 1. And I'm gonna mark, and then that way when it's in the fridge, I know if I want recipe number 1, number 2, or number 3 for the night. Super easy. I have to bag my groceries at the grocery store, right? So it doesn't matter. And so we'll see how the recipes go. I'm going to change into some more comfortable cooking clothes, and we will show you what it looks like at the end of the cooking session. Well, we've been eating HelloFresh and EveryPlate for the last couple of weeks. Of course, we had HelloFresh one week and EveryPlate the other week, and now it's time for them to duke it out and see which one passes the test overall. So round 1, kind of broke this up into rounds. We're gonna do like a boxing match thing. So round 1 is quantity of food. We saw absolutely no difference in quantity of food. The ounces that you get with your proteins is the same. It actually looked like the exact same packaging, to be quite honest. And so I would say that's definitely a tie for round 1. Round 2 is menu selection. HelloFresh had 25 meals to choose from, and 3 of those were gourmet, meaning you had an upcharge, and we'll get into the upcharge in a minute. But HelloFresh does have a lot of different options for you to choose from, 25. EveryPlate only had 14. The variety was still there, you just didn't get quite as many selections. And they also, with their 14 meals, they have 2 that they call premium that you can do an upcharge with to have a fancier type meal, just like HelloFresh. But as far as menu selection, HelloFresh definitely wins that round. Round 3, gourmet versus the premium charge. So that is the upcharge on HelloFresh versus EveryPlate. And with HelloFresh, it is $6.99 per serving. So that's not $6.99 for us together, but $6.99 for my plate, $6.99 for his plate. And I've even seen it go up to $8.99. So I haven't gone into a whole lot of weeks, and I'm not sure if it goes further than that, but it looks like it's anywhere from $6.99 to $8.99 so far. Whereas with the EveryPlate, I only saw an upcharge maximum of $3.99. And so that's $3.99 for each of us. I mean, it's almost double, so it's a big difference on that one. Round 4, customization. I didn't see any customizations that were available with HelloFresh. On EveryPlate, let's say you're having pork on this one particular dinner, not every meal will give you this option, but sometimes they'll say customizations available. And instead of making it pork, you can make it chicken. Or if it's chicken, you can make it pork. And depending on which way you're going, the price difference may be just a few cents, like 49 cents for a change from pork to chicken. But if you go, or let's see, no, if you go from chicken to pork, it was only like 49 cents difference, I think. And then if you went from pork to chicken, it was a little bit more. But it gives you the option. You click on it, you decide if you want to do it. If not, that's fine. Also, both of these give veggie options where it tells you right there on the app, which both apps are great, by the way, but they say spicy or they say vegetarian, and you can add a protein to vegetarian. So if you see something that's really good, but you're not necessarily a vegetarian, you want to add a protein to it, you can do that. So I really like that customization option on the EveryPlate. So I got to give round 4 to EveryPlate. Round 5, that's price. And I'm gonna let Stefan do that one because you might have realized I kind of poked fun at him before in some videos. He's an overthinker, overanalyzer, and I don't know if y'all have seen, but there's this lady, Jeannie Robertson. She has her own YouTube channel. She goes around doing comedic shows to groups of people at different venues. I think she's been guest speakers at conventions and things of that nature. But she absolutely cracks me up because she calls her husband left brain, because she's married to left brain. I'm married to left brain, the over-analytical type of a person. And I once saw a little clip on YouTube of Jeannie Robertson talking about sending her husband to the grocery store. You have to look that up and take a look at it. But the bottom line is, she and I really don't care how much food is by the ounce. But Stefan will tell you, well, we're not going to go down to the ounce, but we are going to go down per plate. So take it away.
Well, thank you, Diana, for that wonderful introduction. So she's right. I do like to understand the math and like to compare things. We'll get into that in another video, but for now, let's talk about the HelloFresh versus the EveryPlate. The HelloFresh gets billed to my credit card once a week if we order that at $62.93. $62.93. Divide that by 6 because there's 6 total meals. 3 days worth times 2 people is 6 meals. That comes out to $10.48 per meal. The EveryPlate comes out to $38.93 per week on my credit card. Divide that out by 6 is $6.48 per plate. Now, if we compare the two, that means a substantial difference between the two. That's $4 difference per plate. That means $8 difference per meal. On a weekly basis, that's $24, and on an annual basis, the EveryPlate is $1,248 less expensive than the HelloFresh. That is a fair bit of money, and in my opinion, like Diana said, we really aren't sacrificing anything on the EveryPlate, but that $1,248 can go to our travel budget. So that's the choice that we like to make. Hope that covers it. Diana, back to you.
Overall, who wins? There were a lot of positives on both, but I'm going to have to say, when it comes down to the price, the customization, the fact that I don't have quite as many options, EveryPlate's still gonna win. But my favorite thing, no matter if you get EveryPlate or HelloFresh or any other kind of delivery service for your dinner, it answers that burning question we all hate so much. What's for dinner? I like the fact that we can save so much money over the course of the year. I'm not saying I'm not going to buy from HelloFresh again. I more than likely will, because I do like some of those options. I have gone ahead a little bit on the weeks. You can skip weeks, so I can pick EveryPlate for 4 weeks and just skip HelloFresh for those same weeks, and then I can pick HelloFresh for a couple weeks and I can skip EveryPlate. So you can keep up with that on the app and just make sure you're not double ordering for the same week. But I like the fact that we're saving so much money on the EveryPlate, and I really don't feel like we're missing out a whole lot. And like I said, I can always switch over for a week if I want to do that. We did this video because when we were trying to decide which one would be better, we found some information on it, but we didn't really get a full breakdown of everything and to completely understand what the different options were. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to our channel. We like to keep in touch with all of our friends and family. And if you have any comments or questions, just put them down below and we'll do our best to answer them the best we can. Thanks for checking in. See you later, friends and family.
I'm driving down an empty freeway.